And hello again, Oxford fans. Welcome into another season of Jacket Vision, our weekly look at Oxford Yellow Jacket football. Oxford kicked off their season last Friday night at home at Lamar Field against number 2 ranked Hillcrest out of Tuscaloosa. And the Yellow Jackets pitched a shutout, winning the game 21-0 to start off their season at 1-0. Joining me now on Jacket Vision, as he does each and every week, is Oxford head coach Ryan Herring. And Coach, congratulations on the win. You knew this was going to be not your typical season opener, especially with as good as Hillcrest has been and the athletes they bring to the table and that were on the field Friday night. Talk about the first game of the year and winning the game.
Well, getting the first win under your belt is always important and fun, and because the kids have worked hard all year. And you want them just to feel that victory after what they've put into it. And, you know, it doesn't always work out like that. You know, you're not guaranteed that first win, but it was great to get it. I was just happy for the kids. We've asked a lot of them, and they've done everything we've asked them to do. And, you know, sitting there watching Hillcrest in pregame, I was a little worried because Hillcrest has some good-looking players out there. But I think our kids stayed focused, and, of course, defensively we played about as good as you can play.
Yeah, they definitely passed the eye test when they got off the bus, as folks like to say. But and the way the game started, it was a field position struggle, especially in that first quarter. But really the theme of this whole game, and we'll talk about it when we see the highlights, was your defense. Was just, you know, the old Yellow Jacket swarming defense was just incredible for you, especially in the first quarter when you couldn't flip field position, but your defense kept them off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I was really worried because we wasn't getting the ball out of there. And they had the ball on our side of the field the whole first quarter, and somehow our defense managed just to bow up and keep them out. And you know, it was one of the better defensive performances, especially for a first game I've ever seen. And so I'm very proud of those guys. And they'd been whipping us in practice a lot, so I knew we had a pretty good defense. But you know, I didn't know that we were going to be able to bow our necks and just keep them out. I think about 4 possessions in a row, like we did. So I mean, I can't say enough about the coaches and defensive players and what they were able to do.
And the thing that stands out about the defense is the speed. Gives you a lot of options to attack other offenses, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've never been this fast on the defensive line and our linebackers. So our first 2 levels are as fast as they've been, I know, in 5 years. So you know, that it feels good, you know, for you to know that you're as fast as who you're playing. And if we can be like that every week, you know, we'll have a shot to win a lot of games this year.
Well, I know you like to play good defense and be able to run the football on offense. So let's flip over to the offensive side. You were able to do that. I think you had right at 200 yards rushing. As the game wore on, it seemed like you got stronger and stronger in that area. You got one of the littlest running backs in the state, but the biggest heart I think I've ever seen. This kid is just relentless. He will not go down. You've got some good guys up front leading the way for him. Talk about your running game Friday night.
Well, you know, early on, we struggled a little bit, because Trey Latham, who is our starting center, you know, he didn't play the first couple of series because he's on a bum ankle. And we put him back in there when he felt like he was warmed up and ready, so he went in. And once he went in there, we kind of started blocking him a little bit and giving Titus a little bit of space. And, you know, once all Titus needs is a crack. And if you give him a crack, you know, he's going to get his yards. So we finally started keeping bodies on him and blocked him a little better. And we finally started moving the ball. And late in the third quarter, the fourth quarter, I think we pretty much ran it how we wanted to run it, you know. And people are fresh early, and they were fired up. Hillcrest, they had everything going for them early. But I think once we finally kept pounding, I think the holes started getting bigger. And, you know, we ended up running Rich Cantrell in the fourth quarter. You know, if Titus would have been in there still, I mean, he would have had probably 200 yards rushing, but we wanted to let Richard get some running in there. And a lot of their guys, like the linebacker who's going to LSU, I noticed he took himself out of the game. And some of their guys started waving a white flag. And so, you know, we kind of played it classy and just kind of kept it up the middle and let some other guys get to play. But by the fourth quarter, I think they had kind of tapped out.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and roll highlights of Oxford's big win over Hillcrest Tuscaloosa as we continue here on Jacket Vision. And we're back on Jacket Vision. Time to head out to Lamar Field. Highlights of the Yellow Jackets home opener, season opener against number 2 ranked Hillcrest Tuscaloosa.
Start out right there. They try a little quick screen, and Janito Allen does a great job of pressing that, making a play. Right there, I thought we had a pick six. It went right through Kendall McCollum's hands, but a great job being where he's supposed to be. Here we are right here, swarming to the ball. We need to lock up right there, but D-line just whipped him up front right there. Made it real easy on us. Matthew Butcher flushes him out of the pocket. Kendall comes up, turns him back into Muncher. We get a big stop right there. That was huge for us. Right here, we little play action. We go over the top to Juicy Fagans. He does a great job right there. And we were worried if we could get behind them because they were so fast in the secondary. Right there, there's just Titus Lindsay making a great move, spinning off a tackle and getting in the end zone. And that's what good tailbacks do. They somehow get in the end zone. And great job by him. They try a little running back flare screen right here, and we get held a little bit on the edge, but we end up making a good play right there with the Nico Tanner. Great pressure again right here. I thought Kendall had a chance to get another pick right there. He was close. Right here, run a little lead. Titus cuts it back, makes the guys miss, and it makes about another 2 or 3 miss right there. Does a great job. There's Abe right there on a quarterback sneak on a 4th and 1 we get. That was a big play. Right here, I thought we had it. Had a little out and up with Caden, and the guy kind of interfered with him. So we get another chance right here. And right here, big play right here, right before half. We're in a hurry up, and Abe does a good job of moving in the pocket and finding Dave Russell wide open. Real happy for Dave. Dave's been struggling with a bad sprained ankle and really touched it out to play Friday night.
And there you see your halftime score. Oxford with a 14-0 lead, and considering how the field position was such a struggle for you in the first quarter, you have to feel pretty good about where you are here at halftime.
Man, I'll tell you what, like we talked about earlier, the defense really kept us out of bad situations early, and then finally the offense got going a little bit, and I think once we kind of got going, we hit them over the top with Fagans. I think that kind of softened them up in the box, and we were able to start running the ball a little more. And of course, right there, late in the half, we did a good job of getting down the field and managing the clock, and then hit Dave right there in the end zone. I think that touchdown right before half took a lot of wind out of them.
Talk about the scheduling of this team to open the season. You know, a lot of coaches prefer to play a team that's not as challenging. This was a big challenge for you. As good as they are, as highly ranked as they were, the type of athletes they bring to the table. Talk about playing a team like this out of the chute.
Well, we had a lot of guys coming back, and we had Talladega on the schedule, and that game really wasn't going to help us get better for Gadsden City, and I think everybody kind of can figure that out, but. We've got enough coming back. We're playing a tougher team game one. We probably needed that. Whether we won or lost, we needed to play a better team game one to help us down the road anyway, and to kind of help us get ready for Gadsden City this week. So it worked out good. We could have lost the game, and I wouldn't regret scheduling it because we needed to play a better team.
And you mentioned the youth. You do have a lot of young guys at a lot of different positions, but more experienced, ironic, even though they're young, because they played a lot last year as well. How are you pleased overall with how they came out and played during the first half, especially your young kids?
I'm very happy. We had a lot of guys on the offensive line that were first-time starters that made mistakes, but a lot of things are correctable. Some of the younger guys that haven't played on defense that played for the first time played well. Our nose guard, J. Rock Swain's a sophomore, first game starting, but he dominated. He played great. So a lot of those guys that haven't played, that played for the first time, did a great job. So we're real happy, and we got a lot of things we can get better at. But I'm just real happy with how it went for the first game.
All right, we'll take a break and come back with second half highlights. Also run down our player awards for the win over Hillcrest Tuscaloosa as we continue right here on Jacket Vision. Stay with us. As we head to the second half, Oxford with a 14-0 lead over Hillcrest. Coach, here's that defense swarming again.
Yeah, they had a little wrinkle right there. They pulling the backside tackle around it. Got them a couple yards a couple times, and we got it adjusted finally. There's Jordan Swain. Man, I'm so happy for Jordan. He works so hard in the weight room every day. It's just good to see him have success, and he's such a good kid. Here's toss sweep right here to Titus. You know, they had some good athletes on defense, and we had to earn a lot of it. Great job by Caden Higgins right there, catching, making a guy miss, getting about 10 more yards. Here's another toss right here to Titus, and we caught him with a weak edge over there. They missed a line, and so they gave us some easy yards. There's our big bruising fullback right there. Look at him. You know, you think he stopped, and he gets 5 more. He is built like a turkey. He is all muscle. There he is again right there. We needed a first down, and he was able to cross through there and get some extra yards. Here's another toss sweep right here. Great job by Titus, finding a way to get in the end zone. And you know, for his size, I don't know if there's anybody tougher in the state. Up 21-0 right now, feeling real good. Right here, here's Caden Higgins again. You know, just bouncing off tackles. I mean, that's just a great effort right there. Good throw by Abe. Here we are starting the fourth quarter, and we feel real good. And right here, that was I knew right then when they kept running the ball that they evidently didn't feel good about their passing game. Here's a little flare pass to the running back, and Kendall McCollum runs right through his heart right there and steals his soul from him. It looked like Brody Sire coming off the edge just runs right through the running back, and him and to Corey Russell, double team right there for the sack. We get to play Richard Cantrell right here at running back. You know, Richard's not a bad running back himself, and it's good to get to see Richard get some yards. Here's another quick dive play to the fullback, and Gabe does a great job right there. He looks like a 1950 Notre Dame running back. That's what I told him Sunday. But he's a tough kid, and looked real good right there. Here's Richard again right here. As you can see, it's fourth quarter, and the holes are just huge. So we finally got those holes opened up, and the running backs just ate them up. And, you know, just a great win right there for the first game.
Very big win, 21-0. Oxford, number 7 in the state, knocking off number 2 ranked Hillcrest Tuscaloosa to improve to 1-0 on the season. Coach, before we get to the player awards, I want to update everyone on your quarterback status. I know Abe took a shot there in the first quarter, was able to finish the game. Apparently nothing serious, but he's going to have to be dealing with a bruised rib, it looks like.
Yeah, he's just going to have a tough week this week, and it may last a couple of weeks, but he just got some bad bruised ribs. You know, he was already dealing with a bruised knee that he was trying to get over, so he's pretty upset right now. He just wants to be healthy, and because, you know, as you can remember from last year, when he's healthy, he can run about as fast as anybody. So we just got to keep him healthy, take care of him this week, and get him to the game Friday night. And you know, I think if we can just have him healthy enough and fresh enough Friday night, I think he'll be fine to play.
Well, there's no doubt when you looked at your schedule this year, you probably had as tough a 1-2 to start the season as anybody in the state. So, you know, you just cross your fingers and hope you stay healthy for these first 2 weeks and get into region play. Let's take a look at the player awards for the week, Coach.
All right, this week our Air Jacket Award goes to Juicy Fagans. He had a big catch over the middle. Racehorse Award goes to Titus Lindsay. Highest grade defensive line, Shane Dimon, grade over 90%. That's almost unbelievable, especially for a first game. Highest grade offensive line, Jathan Foster, senior right guard, did a great job. Special Teams Award, Brody Sire and Zane Barboa. They've got it messed up right there, but it's Zane Barboa.
We got last year's kicker on
that's
there.
Right.
We'll get that fixed, Coach.
That's right. Most Hits Award goes to Kendall McCollum. I think it's messed up too. Meanest Jacket Award goes to Kendall McCollum and Brody Sire. Game Breaker goes to the defense. I think Ray Charles would have seen that our defense was the game breaker Friday night. Takeaway, Jordan Swain with a big pick. Hammer Award, split that between Gabe Webb and Kendall McCollum. Both of them had 3 hammers. And Pride Award for this week goes to Tate Adams. Tate did a great job of working all week. Very proud of Tate and what he's been doing for us.
Well, Coach, you know, you see your team in the weight room in the offseason. You see them in fall practice against each other, but there's nothing like seeing your team go against another team in another jersey. What did you learn from your team that maybe you didn't know Friday night?
Well, I saw Hillcrest come out in pregame warm-ups, and they had the music, and they were hyped up, and they had good-looking kids, and you know they had a lot of mouth in them. And then by the fourth quarter, a lot of those guys were sitting on the bench with cramps or waving the white flag, you know, and our kids were as fresh and still, you know, looked as good as they did or better than they did in the first quarter. So I was proud with our conditioning and the way the kids toughed it out. You know, you can sit here and talk about how hard you work, kids, but the kids are the one doing the work. The kids are the one playing. So I'm proud of the kids and the way they handled themselves and the way they finished the game.
All right, we'll take a break, come back and look ahead to this Friday night's matchup with rival Gadsden City as we continue here on Jacket Vision. And we're back on Jacket Vision. There's a look at this Friday night's matchup. Gadsden City coming to Lamar Field in a 7 o'clock kickoff. The big rival matchup for the Yellow Jackets. Gadsden City started their season last Friday night with a loss to Spain Park. Coach, let's talk about this matchup. They've got a new coach. Bart Sessions is there. How do you think they will change at all with a new coaching staff?
Just from people I've talked to, they say that he's a real good defensive coach. So I expect him to probably be to line up well and right and play a little more fundamentals on the defensive line than what they've been doing. Offensively, I think they're going to more of a pass-happy offense. They were a big outside zone team in the past 4 years. So, you know, it's going to be a tough game. It's Gadsden City, you know, and it's just going to be a four-quarter battle, you know, and I think whoever can make the least amount of mistakes and be there in the fourth quarter probably will win the game.
They had every opportunity to win their opener against Spain Park. You've looked at that film. What did you learn from that?
They have two running backs, which the senior running back is going to Troy. He's committed to Troy, but the junior running back, to me, is even better than him. They've got one real good receiver out wide, tall kid. Defensively, they're like always. They'll run and hit you. They're going to make you earn it. I think they threw an interception late in the fourth quarter or in the fourth quarter that kind of broke their back against Spain Park. But, you know, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be like our Oxford Gadsden City game is every year. It's just going to be tough. It's going to be fast. It'll be a lot of hitting, be real physical. So, you know, I think whoever makes the least mistakes probably have the best chance to win.
I would assume you've got you feel pretty good about going into the game after seeing how your team performed against a team such as Hillcrest with the type of athletes they brought to that game.
Yeah, that was a good primer to get us ready for this game. So, you know, the speed of the game, we'll be ready for it. You know, I think Gadsden City probably is going to be better on offense than what Hillcrest was. And defensively, I think Gadsden City probably will have a little better D-line than what Hillcrest had. So it's going to be a challenge, but it's what we need. We need a tough non-region game, and that's what it'll be.
All right. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll be back with you again next week for highlights of Oxford and Gadsden City here on Jacket Vision.